Well, welcome to the Harvey Haddon Stadium in Nottingham for this second division Stones Biddy Championship game between Nottingham and Keighley. Quick run through the sides. For Nottingham, we've got full-back at Tommy Sutton, at number 2 Gregoire, at number 3 Bowie, number 4 Oates, number 5 Todder. The half-backs are Chappell and Bennett, and the forwards Ports, Rudd, Wilson, Welsh, Jackson, and at loose forward Hemmer, and the subs are Quinn and Mackey. And for Keighley, we have number 1 Jeff Butterfield, number 2 Tony James, number 3 Carlton Farrell, number 4 Jason Donnelly, and number 5 Julian Thompson. Halfbacks Keith Dixon and Paul Moses. And in the forwards we've got Greg Hiley, Mark Reagan, Kevin Rose, Mark Fairbank, Aaron Palele and Andy Gascoigne, and the subs are at number 14 Pat Mitchell and number 15 Ray Priestley. So the game's in progress, and a good run there by Keighley. Knock on though. It's number 11 for Nottingham. Nottingham looking just a little bit hesitant at the moment. Good tackle there by Greg Hiley. And joining me this afternoon is our regular expert, Ian Fairhurst, and a good run there by Nottingham out to Gregoire, but easily tackled by Jason Donnelly. Must say that both sides have been held up on the motorway, only just arrived at this stadium, so we can expect a fairly slow start from both sides till they just get warmed up into this. It's bitterly cold, and the sparse crowd of what I would say about probably 250 people. So the game 2 minutes old, it's 0-0, and TJ just falls on himself there. Out to Kevin Rose. Keithy in their own 25. Mark Reagan looking for Paul Moses. Aaron Palele, and here he goes, the wild ball, and they open up for him, and there he goes! He's over the halfway line. Yes, he's going all the way. Tremendous run by Palele. A wonderful run there by Aaron Palele. And Keithy throwing it about. Somebody needs somebody to go forward, and Kevin Rose drops the ball. A shame after a superb run there by Aaron Palele. So I'll just pass you over now for our wonderful expert Ian Fairhurst to just give us his thoughts so far on the game.
Thank you, Mike, and welcome to the Harvey Haddon Stadium here in Nottingham. Both sides just feeling them each other out at the moment. I nearly said feeling themselves, but the only bright spot at the moment being that wonderful run by Palele, but unfortunately lacked support at the vital time, and the chance there for Keighley had gone begging. So Nottingham, a team who have shown improved form over the last few weeks, had some very close results, although not managing to get that elusive second win of the season, have improved their overall team performance, and they're certainly relishing the fact of playing Keighley today, especially with Coach Mel Wibley. It's been his ex-club, and I think they'll be well fired up for this afternoon's encounter. And it's Keighley in possession, just round about the centre field area, and the ball is moving left through Moses. He's trying to pick a runner up. He finds Gascoigne, but he's well held in the tackle there by Rudd and the Nottingham hooker. The ball is lost there in the tackle by Dixon, so Nottingham regain possession with an ex-Keighley player there, Don Gregoire, late of Dewsbury, in his second season here at Nottingham. And acting half, we find another ex-Keighley player in Sean Wilson, the Kiwi, who played as a guest player at Keighley last season. So Sean will be well known to a lot of the Keighley team this afternoon. and it's Wilson, often in, although wearing the number 10 shirts, going in at acting half most of the time, and feeding the ball out from there. And the referee signals last tackle, which will find a kick downfield from Sutton, fullback. Puts in a kick, not a very good one, I hasten to say. Finds Carlton Farrell, and the referee signals that the Nottingham players were within the 10 metres when the kick was taken. It's Mr. Holgate from Barrow, so it's a penalty to Keighley, to be taken by Dixon, left-footed, finds touch round about the halfway mark. And Keighley with this set of 6, taking it through the forwards early on with Rose. Into stiff opposition there. And the next one is Hiley, the Kiwi number 8 from Keighley. Had such a big impact this season as Greg Hiley on the Keighley pack. It's been a good, shrewd signing by coach Tony Fisher. As has this man, Aaron Palele, a crowd pleaser in his own right. And it's Gascoigne looking for runners out wide, but the defence is up quickly. The referee, not to the referee's liking, the way the defence came in, he's given a penalty, said the tackle was high. It looks as if Jeff Butterfield will have to have treatment. My co-commentator and his young son here having a 3-course lunch at the side of me. It smells delicious, but...
I've now emptied my mouth, and I will just pass the comment to Ian Fairhurst for wearing a wonderful Keighley bobble hat.
Wear the colours today, man.
His ears are stuck out like 2 wingnuts, but there we go. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Keith Dixon just inside the Nottingham half, directly in front of goal. About a 45-yard kick. Be a good kick if he kicks it, but it's very still here. So the crowd quiet with anticipation. And there he goes, a good kick. Superb kick. Wonderful kick there by Keith Dixon. So Keighley take a 2-0 lead and just look to beginning to find their feet. A very important game for the Keighley side today. A win here absolutely essential in their quest for the top 8 of the 2nd division. I'm just looking down on my 2 co-directors here, chewing away, both on diets, eating sausage sandwiches as if they've gone out of fashion. And then it is Carlton Farrell straight into the fray. Mark Reagan out to Paul Moses. Paul Moses, nobody coming for him, takes a tackle. And the ball going out. Right, here it goes, Jason Donnelly. Can he give it? Yes, and he gives it out to Jeff Butterfield, who's unceremoniously dunked out to Keith Dixon, bobbing and weaving. And here goes TJ. Yes, a superb break by TJ. Can he take this full back? Oh, a good tackle there by Sutton. Catches TJ in full blow, in full ball for the line. So the Keighley now inside the Nottingham 25-yard line. Good move that, Ian.
Yeah, the ball is definitely one to be reckoned with out on the flanks as Tony James, but he needs the ball early to give him a chance to get into his stride, which he did there. But a wonderful cover tackle from full-back Sutton stopped him in his tracks. But things are looking promising early on for Keighley. The 2 good bits of open football have both come from the Keighley side with good charges by Palele and James. Let's hope they can capitalise on this and not fritter chances away as has been in the past. And there's a little run out from dummy half there. Good yardage gained by the Nottingham side. And the last tackle's called, so the one's hoisted high up. Gary Owen, as they say in Union terms, well fielded there by Jeff Butterfield. And he gets to his feet rather slowly, but giving his forwards a chance to get back behind the ball. And Mark Fairbank comes up to take a share of the donkey work by settling it down through a few forward plunges. And Moses, an attempt there to open it out, finds Donnelly, but he's well held then by the Nottingham defence. He manages to get a pass out under pressure. And the ball's passed on from Moses to Gascoigne, but no real headway made here by the Keighley side. And still penned round about their own 25-yard area. And in an attempt to get out of that area, they try to push the ball wide, but full credit to Nottingham. They're up smartly and they're into the tackle well. 2 and 3 men there, led by Wilson. And Reagan goes on a dart out from acting half, makes 10 yards, but no great deal of yardage there in this set of 6, so they'll resort to the kick, and down it comes left-footed from Dixon. Gains about 40 to 50 metres with the kick. And a chance now for Keighley to keep the play, penned in the Nottingham half. This is the area of the field that they need to keep the opposition, pressurise them into mistakes. Number 7, Phil Bennett, young Kiwi. Turned the ball inside for one of his forward runners there. I think you'll find that Wilson and Bennett combine for acting half and first receiver rather well in this Nottingham side. Wilson always going in at dummy half, and Bennett first receiver to bring runners off the ball. There he is, Bennett. Puts the long touch finder in, only as far as James. Fields it successfully and comes on a galloping field. Doesn't get very far this time. So we've had about 10 minutes of this Stones Bitter second division game here at Nottingham, with the score Nottingham 0, Keighley 2, and it's close support play by Moses following Gascoigne. Tries to break down this yellow shirts of the Nottingham defence, so moving up quickly, it's to be said, in these opening stages. Dixon putting a crossfield kick in, but it's stopped by Gregoire, who picks it up and tries to race away from his own area, but he's well met there. A real thumping tackle from Aaron Palele. Must be like hitting a barn door when you hit that fella. As Ray French says, he's a big lad, and certainly well beefed up on Silsden pork pies or something. The referee not happy with the marker situation there, penalises Mark Reagan. Penalty given to Nottingham. And this long, tall, rangy centre, number 4, David Oates, from the Halifax area in West Yorkshire, finds touch for his side. On the halfway line, it's Wilson will take the tap and will take a couple of forward plunges. There goes the first one, number 8. Offloads to 9, who's Neil Rudd. Backed up well, but he lost the ball to Palele. So he's in the action again as Aaron Palele. And certainly taking the eye this afternoon in the early exchanges, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely so. I mean, Aaron's become a firm favourite and very much an integral member of this Keighley side, and that's well moved is the ball. Jeff Butterfield cut him nicely inside, gives it to Moses, who tries an overhead pass. Perhaps should have gone down with it there, Paul, but did try and get the ball out. So another chance gone begging. Keighley beginning to look menacing, though. They're putting 1 or 2 passes together, looking in these early stages now to be certainly a step above Nottingham City, but we need points on the board and quickly. Have the feeling if we can get some points on the board, heads may drop in this Nottingham side, and it could be a comfortable victory for Keighley. So Sutton with the ball, nice attack by Gascoigne.
I don't agree with you there, Mike, about comfortable victories. I was quite impressed with the Nottingham side when they played up at Keighley. They're a side, although rather limited in some aspects of play, never ever give up, as we found to our cost last year when we came here, with a woeful performance, albeit with a much stronger side now. I think the problem that it's not a problem really, is that the players have got to be mentally right to approach this game, otherwise they could struggle, and let's hope that's not the case today. They had an improving side in Nottingham. They've had some good results over the last few weeks, and they've got an influx of one or two new players, which always lifts the side a little bit. So if you can, I don't think you can have an easy game nowadays in rugby league, bearing in mind that Runcorn have yet to gain that elusive win, and at the moment nobody's looking forward to playing Runcorn, and we've got to play them 3 times between now and the end of the season, so the Keighley players have got to have their minds on the job in all games. No such thing as easy games. So that's the lecture for today, Mike, and I'll pass it back to you.
Well, I accept that, Ian, very graciously. I think very, very good words of wisdom. I just spanked myself 3 times on the hand and lashed myself to the seat, but there we go. So Keith back in possession. The playing surface, as you can see, is in quite good condition. It's ideal for a fast open game. And here come Keighley. Paul Moses looking for a man in support, takes a tackle. Good ball. Ooh, Mark Fairbank throws it out to Palele, and Palele is tackled. Keighley not making a lot of ground at the moment. Ball coming out to Jason Donnelly. Decides to take it himself. Gains 4 or 5 yards. And it's a 6th tackle. So the ball will be being kicked up by Keith Dixon. There it is. So it could be Keith the ball this, and the ball bouncing everywhere, and referee says knock on. Keith should have had the ball. So it's Keighley feed and head. Paul Moses trots round the scrum, feeds it. There it goes, and a nice move. Oh, yeah, we should have made more of that. Julian Thompson just not quite awake there and didn't take the chance that was given. A good move there by Gascoigne and Moses. But Keith won it before the head. And here comes Jason Julian to try and make amends for that. But he's penalised for passing off the floor, so an unfortunate 5 minutes there for Julian. So free kick relieves the Nottingham pressure and brings the game back to the centre of the field. So the ball coming out here. Good tackle by Jason. Nottingham not making any ground at all at the moment. Firmly in the centre part of the field. And here comes Carlton Farrell. Beats his first man. Run up the touchline. Oh. So another wasted opportunity. A good run by Carlton, but just forced into touch. The Keighley forwards look the stronger in the set scrummage here. The ball comes to Nottingham, out to Don Gregoire. Well tackled there by Keith Dixon. And another tackle there by Keith Dixon, but he's managed to pull himself out of there. Neil Wood there just tackled. So Nottingham driving the ball out towards the centre line. And we're at the sixth tackle. Somebody's dropping back. So there's a scrum on the Keighley 25. The ball seemed to bobble quite slowly out of touch there, but difficult to see just how near the touchline it was from here. And here comes TJ, and he's tackled 5 yards in front of the Keighley 25. So Paul Moses giving it to Matt Reagan. Matt Reagan bobbing and weaving. Takes it 10 yards. Greg Keighley. Good passing. The last pass was dropped, and Nottingham back in possession. We're just finding difficulty at the moment in stamping our authority on the game. I'll pass you back for Ian's comments.
Yeah, they've got a problem here of Keighley. It's one that's been evident over the last few weeks. It's that we do have some nice approach play with people capable of going through gaps and making chances, but we're just not finishing them off. And there's been evidence of that this afternoon for the first 20 minutes here, that sort of chances have been created, and you've got to finish them off if you're going to kill sides. Here's another one here with Moses. Can this be finished off? Picks up Gascoigne. Better play there. They kept hold of the ball better, and now they've got what's called in Australian terms a roll on. They've got the defence going backwards, and they've picked up Keighley, who plunges into the 25-yard line. There's also another aspect here that Keighley have to contend with, is the narrowness of the pitch. It's so the idea of playing close support play around the ruck area should pay dividends here, because in a sense this is an easy pitch to defend because it's so narrow. It's a side that can make the close support pay off with the backing up. Should be bringing the points haul, and it's the last tackle. The ball is played back to Keith Dixon in an attempt to drop goal, which he does do, but it's gone wide of the posts. Referee Holgate says no goal there, so restart play with a tap. 25 to Nottingham. First runner is Arnold Hemer, the loose forward. And the full-back Sutton's in the line, but he's lost the ball as he attempts to regain his feet, Mr. Holgate says, so they'll come to scrum. Dixon picks one off his bootlaces there, and Farrell can't hold the ball. Now we're nearly halfway through the first half here, and it's still 2-0 in Keighley's favour. Keighley being the most enterprising of the two teams, but not really having the finishing power just to finish off the odd break. Let's hope that's not costly in the long run. And it's something the players have certainly been made aware of in the last few weeks, but not really rallied to the cause so far. Let's hope they can remedy that situation, but they've also got to look after Nottingham when they have the ball as well, and it's full-back Sutton in the line, number 1. Ball out to 14, John Quinn. And the raking grubber kick put in there by the Nottingham player brings play right up onto the Keighley try line, just 5 metres away from the line. It's a scrum down. And this is the first time I think Nottingham have been deep, as deep in the Keighley 25. Moses will feed the scrum for Keighley, who also have the head. So in statistical terms, should come up with the ball. Let's see, and it goes. Hooked back well by Prop forward Keighley did his job well there, and the ball came back from the hooker's feet. And Julian Thompson going to acting half, goes for a gallop, and his Nottingham team are pulled offside, so a chance to relieve the pressure here for Keighley by Dixon kicking to touch. Reagan goes at acting half, and Greg Keighley as a forward run, but he's well met there by the Nottingham defenders. 2-3 men in the tackle, and no real yardage gained. Second drive taken by Rose, and again committed tackling by the Nottingham team. Wilson and Rudd working effectively on defence for Nottingham this afternoon. Here comes Gascoigne probing, looking to bring the ball inside, and finds Mark Fairbank on a run. Mark Fairbank's feeding out Carlton Farrell, who's going to stroll over there just inside, about 15 metres in from the try line. Good break initially by Gascoigne, fed Fairbank, who handed on to Farrell, who finished the job off and put Keighley 6 points to the good. So nice to see there a bit of the enterprising play being finished off, Mike, which is something that's been lacking, isn't it?
Well, that's right. We managed to make the break and the supporting players, and we kept hold of the ball. A very good, well worked and good try, and Keighley needed those points. It gives us a 6-0 lead, and the kick to come now. If we can just stretch it to 8-0, I think there is a point when teams like Nottingham have been losing regularly, that once a team like Keighley starts stretching away, heads do tend to go down. I know what you're saying, Ian. I take your point, what you said earlier. But I do feel if we can get sort of 12, 14 points in front, it may well be that the Nottingham side begin to believe they can't win the game. It's important.
Well, I think what our lads have got to learn really is what we call the killer instinct, to finish sides off. It happened at Barrow, where we went into a 12-point lead and then spilled a few chances and allowed Barrow to come back into the game. Really, they should have been out of sight at half-time, and it led to a very sort of nerve-wracking second half for everyone alike, players, fans, coaches and directors. And if you look back through our season, this has happened in a number of games. Huddersfield, for example, where really when we've had the chances, you've got to finish sides off, and that one's the first chance we've actually finished off this afternoon. Let's hope that gives the lads a little bit of confidence that they can string the football together. I'm certain they can do that, but it's a matter of really finishing teams away and getting the points on the board before half-time. Saying that, we've immediately lost possession from the kick-off. Julian Thompson having the ball stolen in the first tackle there, and Nottingham now with the chance to put something on in Keighley's 25. Wilson to Bennett, brings the ball out wide. And is held up well by Gascoigne and Rose. And a long ball fed out to Don Gregoire on the far touchline side, but he's looked after well there by Thompson. Arnold Hemer in at acting half. The ball passed out right to David Oates, who chips over the top. And the ball has gone dead, so signifies the linesman, so Keighley can restart with the tap 25. So 25 minutes gone here, and it's 6-0 to Keighley. A try by Farrell and a penalty goal by Dixon. And here comes that man, Lyadon Pelele. Good run by Aaron. Brought down on the halfway line by Arnold Hemer. Now Keighley, can they open the bar? There's some gaps there by Keighley, looking to expose the gap, and feed it, Andy Gascoigne. Good feed to Dixon. Where's the backing up? It's miles forward by Dixon. Would have been better holding on to the ball there. It's easy to say that sat up here, but again, breaks made and just not quite finishing off, and just not quite making the right options. So the packs disengage from that scrum and go back to their respective sides, and we set up again for another set of 6. And that Nottingham man runs into Keighley and Rose, and Wilson goes out from acting half and throws a pass wildly backwards into back play, but it's picked up by full-back Sutton. Attempts to stride out. That ricochets off Keighley player. I think that the referee should signify back to 1 there. He's not done, so that's a let-off in that respect for Keighley, as the ball came off a Keighley player. Here come Nottingham with Oates, finds Ian Bowie, but he's a good tackle there by Mark Fairbank down low, and Carlton Farrell up top smothers him before he can get in his stride. And Ian Bowie, who in his second season here at Nottingham, having been signed halfway through last season from Dewsbury, played number 3 today. And Reagan making a break from acting half, feeding Moses, picks up Dixon, and they're on the halfway line now at Keighley. Again looking to pick up these runners. Gascoigne decides to chip over the top. Oh, it's gone forward, and Gascoigne gathers his own kick. Gregoire fumbles, and it could be loose, and it is. Not a try given, a knock on. Mr. Holgate having a good look over to his linesman to get the correct decision. It's a good thing to see nowadays that referees are consulting with linesmen before they give decisions in the in-goal area. And he deemed it was a knock-on there, so they've come to scrum, and Nottingham coming away with it. That's Oates has made a break out of the first tackle. Got the ball away to bring the play up to the halfway line on this last tackle. The ball fed back to Oates again to the kick. But certainly in that set of 6 there, Nottingham looked rather disorganised, didn't they, Mike?
Yeah, they have done through the game. It's as if effort isn't just enough, really. They don't seem to have a real playmaker in the middle of the field. Julian Thompson's not having the best of days, though, today. He's made 1 or 2 quite costly errors. One of those things, one of those days, I'm afraid.
You've been polite, Mike. I think he's having a stinker.
And just as we talked there, the referee has disallowed the try. Just looking at that, we're talking about Julian.
He's a lucky lad, isn't he?
Yes, and it would have rounded his day off if the winger had just crept in there. So Keighley very lucky there, and the score remains Keighley 6, Nottingham 0. TG on the far side of the field now. The ball coming across, and there's that man, the wild boar, Aaron Palele. Count. So Julian just forced into touch between the halfway and 25-yard line. Good break by Carlton Farrell there. Keith looked to be in control. They look to be a yard faster than the Nottingham counterparts. And there goes Carlton Farrell, interception. Takes the ball to the 25-yard line, and now Keith in a really good attacking position. The 6 tackles. Gives it to Keith Dixon, back inside, and Keith Dixon out to Carlton Farrell. Aaron Palele drives in. to the 10-yard line. 10 yards short. Come on, Keighley. What can we do here? Out to Kevin Rose. Having a good game today, Kevin Rose. He's tackling well and looking powerful in the middle. Ball out to Keith Dixon. So this is last tackle. What can Keighley do? Paul Moses kicks over. So Nottingham now on their own line. But referee pulls Keighley up and says you're offside, allowing Nottingham now to clear the line. So the score remains Keighley 6, Nottingham 0. With approximately 5 minutes to go to half time, so we could really do with another 6 points on the board. But Keighley look well on top. And there goes Keith Dixon, intercepted. Out to Julian Thompson. Come on, Julian, let's see what you can do. Oh, unlucky. So into touch with 5 yards to go. Got round the first man. Just couldn't get round the second man. And it's Keithley ball. And Paul Moses, oh! Yeah, it like... Andy Gascoigne taking play to midfield. Now then, what can Keithley do? Out to Calton Farrell. That was easily caught there. Took it a bit flat-footed. Alright, it's a bit of magic now. Keithley losing ground here. So Keithley lost a good 20 yards in that passing bout. Here comes Greg Hiley, taking the ball back to 25. But Keithley really need to start stamping some authority on this game. Andy Gascoigne running straight and hard. That's what we need. We need some more direct running. And then Keith Dixon kicks chips forward, but it's taken quite well by this New Zealand substitute for Nottingham. Now brings play back up. So it's not one of Keithley's more dynamic displays, to say the least. But we're looking comfortable out there. Keith Dixon. Eddie Pulele. Nottingham running round, getting absolutely nowhere. 6 tackle. So Keith moved back for the kick. And here it comes. Down to Julian. Jeff Butterfield gives it to Julian Thompson. Let's see what Julian Thompson can do here. Beats one man. Steadies up and takes the ball to the 25-yard line. So Keighley in possession, 6 tackles to go now. Here comes TJ. Beats one man. Takes on more, makes about 8 yards. Matt Reagan acting half-back. Gives it to Matt Fairbank. Kevin Rose gives it back to Matt Reagan. Nice interpassing. Makes about 20 yards. Andy Gascoigne foraging, working forward, takes the ball to the halfway line. So the ball going out. Matt Fairbank drops the ball. No advantage to Nottingham, so scrum down. Bitterly cold here today. But the players running around should be fairly warm, I would have thought. Penalty to Keighley, feeding. Now, very rarely these days do we see that from the referee, but in his wisdom he's given given the scrum half of Nottingham feeding his feet. So Keith Dixon now kicking from the centre of the field. Gains 25 yards. So Keithy to play the ball on the 25-yard line, and this is important that we try and get some score here. So TJ takes the ball in. A good run by TJ. Takes the ball to within 10 yards, 8 yards of the Nottingham try line. So with 5 tackles now. Greg Eileen to pass in. Here comes Aaron Palele. There he goes, the wild boar fighting his way to that try line, and he scored! Yes, a superb try under the post by Aaron. The wild boar strikes again. He's as strong as an ox, is this lad. 5 players hanging on to him, kept his feet and forced his way under the post. And that gives Keithy the bit of breathing space they were looking for. We should go in now at half-time, 12-0 up. As I said earlier, not the most distinguished of performances today from this Keithy side, but at least now we have some cushion and should allow us to start throwing the ball about a little bit more. No advantage today, the field is quite flat, no wind. Keith Dixon easily kicks right on half-time. So Keith has certainly kept that close. So the half-time score is Keighley 12, Nottingham 0. Well, welcome back for the second half. I'll just put you over to a colleague of mine who wishes to join the sportscast. I've just been given a flat cap because it's, as I said, about 4 times in the first half. It is quite cold here. Keighley have brought a substitute on for the wild boars off, limping slightly, so Ray Priestley comes on to play the second half. Keithy winning 12-0 and in possession. Instantly the referee blows Nottingham offside, so Keith Dixon looks to get 30-40 yards and ends up getting 10. So here we go. We could do with a quick score now. Let's get everybody nicely warmed up after waiting in the cold. Ray Priest is straight into action, and a great drive takes play just outside the Nottingham 25. And Kevin Rose, inside ball. Yeah, good drive by Kevin Rose, having a good game. Andy Gascoigne backing him up, and this is Ray Priestley. Men all round him. He lets the ball go, and it's a knock-on. So ball and head to Nottingham. The ball flies out. So Nottingham in possession in their own 25. Keighley coping quite easily with the scurries of Nottingham. Tend to be bunching a little bit in the middle of the field. So a 6 tackle, and the ball kicked upfield towards Jeff Butterfield, who brings it out. Ian Fairhurst arrives back from the canteen, armed with sausage sandwiches, liberally coated with tomato sauce, and as Ian Fairhurst getting all mixed up here with Mark Fairbank bringing the ball. So it's a scrum Certainly catering at Nottingham appears to be going extremely well. The Keighley contingent here must now have eaten at least 15 hot dogs, and TJ taking the ball inside, beats 3 men on a horizontal run across the field. Matt Fairbank takes a good drive. No acting half back. Dearie me, come on lads. So giving the ball away to Nottingham there. Must get into the game. Nottingham tend to run a little bit stronger now. Trying to throw the ball out wider. Looked a slightly forward pass, but the referee says play on. Oof. Captain Farrell, fair dumps. Don Gregoire and the ball's put high up and under. Field underneath it. And well tackled. So Keighley now defending. The referee penalises Nottingham, and it's a free kick. Keith Dixon gains 20 yards, and Keighley really need now to sort of settle down, play sensible rugby and keep the ball for 6 tackles. First tackle to Paul Moses. Keith missing men out, and a good break there by Jason Donnelly. The ball comes out to Julian Thompson, and he misses it. So we managed only to keep the ball for 1 tackle again. Keith penalised there for not releasing the man when the referee called held, and Nottingham back on the attack. One of the features of play today is Keith just haven't been keeping the ball for 6 tackles. We've not dominated as probably we should have done, and the score remains Keighley 12, Nottingham 0, and a blatant knock on there and retrieved for Keighley by Captain Farrell. Matt Reagan going from acting half and makes a good 10 yards to the 25-yard line. Paul Moses about to receive the ball out to Ray Priestley, who drives the ball another 10 yards. Matt Reagan acting half, out to Andy Gascoigne, who darts forward and gives it to a long ball out to TJ. Better play there. Kevin Rose made a superb midfield run. Andy Gascoigne feeds Kevin Rose again. A silly pass there by Keith Dixon when Kevin Rhodes again played his part with Andy Gascoigne there, breaking through, feeding Keithy standoff, who threw a reverse pass which went forward. So another chance wasted. There were men on the outside there, Ian.
Yes, Mike.
Just passed over there to my co-commentator, just his mouth full of coffee and sausage sandwich. I must just say, well, there's a break in play, put a whole sachet of tomato sauce and then a whole sachet of mustard on top. It looked like a painting from Picasso by the time he'd finished. And then consumed the lot in about 2 minutes flat. So it's Nottingham bringing the ball out here. Not making any headway, and they haven't really made any headway all the game. Sean Cummings, ex-Keighley player, takes the ball to the 25-yard line. Keighley have substituted winger Julian Thompson and brought Pat Mitchell on for a run. And this is a good break by Nottingham. Yeah, good break. And the referee has penalised Andy Gascoigne for holding down there. And a quick tap penalty there. And this is more enterprising by Nottingham. They're now 10 yards from the Keighley try line, throwing the ball out. But the field is so narrow. It is an easy field, as Ian said, to defend against. The ball going out. And a good break there. But he's lost the ball. And Keighley have got it back.
Back in the third again.
With Carlton Farrell. So Keighley fighting the way out of their own 25. Ray Priestley making a concerted drive there up to the 25. Good forward scurry. Ball coming out now. Andy Gascoigne had a good game this afternoon. Andy Gascoigne finds Paul Moses. Paul Moses just held. A few fists flying there, and Jason Donnelly's having none of that. Here come Keighley. Carlton Farrell just not being able to get some space to get his run out. 6 tackles. Ball going back here to Jeff Butterfield. Plays a ball and it comes off a Nottingham player, and referee says no. Some referees allow the ball to come off the man and be regathered and wave the tackles off. Some referees don't, and in this case the referee didn't. At this point, with an empty mouth and raring to go, I'll pass you over to Ian Fairhurst.
Thank you, Mike. So it's Keighley here, 10 minutes into this second half. 12 points up here at Nottingham. So it's Nottingham, the team in possession at the moment, with substitute number 14, Loy Machi. Ian Bowie there. Number 12 is Gavin Welsh, trying to get the ball out. And a backflip pass, but it's not come off, so Keighley come up with the ball. Jeff Butterfield clearing his lines. It was interesting to note, Mike, at half-time that the Keighley team stayed out on the field, and Coach Tony Fisher giving his instructions, and well backed up in the organisation process by Andy Gascoigne, who certainly looked the part of a skipper through and through today. He's organised his players well and being on top of his own game. It's a vital cog in the Keighley side, I think, don't you?
Absolutely, he's had a great game today, Andy Gascoigne. But he's maturing as a team captain, and certainly is becoming the hub of the Keighley side. They certainly look a better side when he's playing than when he's not. And his record is when he's actually his startups, since he became team captain, I think they've only lost one league game. I think that was against Halifax. So his record is quite impeccable.
Very experienced player, Andy Gascoigne, and he's using it well here with Keighley. Seen service at Hull and Bramley twice and Leeds, and certainly the players respond to his leadership on the field. Here is Nottingham with that second row man Welsh, socks round the ankle. No progress made, and Bennett, the half-back, looking to pick up a runner. He finds big rangy David Oates, who feeds Don Gregoire out there on the wing. It's well cover tackled there by Paul Moses. Did a good job, did Moses, sweeping up behind the line of defence. Took the winger Gregoire into touch. So the first real enterprising break Nottingham have had in this second half was through Gregoire, the winger. Got away off a Bennett pass, but Moses did his job well as a cover defender, took him into touch. And from the resultant scrum, Keighley have a penalty. So Dixon finds touch. Player brought up to the halfway line. Isn't it funny, whenever they kick for touch, the touchers always touch the halfway line. I can't believe they always exactly go over the halfway line, but And here comes the forward substitute Ray Priestley, barging his way upfield. Gains a few metres. Gascoigne going at acting half, does a run-round move with Moses and picks up Dixon. Well read by the Nottingham defence, and Moses going on his own there, finds a little gap. That's good play by Moses out of acting half. Good yardage gained. What's needs now is a quick play of the ball and transference across to the right. Here comes Gascoigne, finds Faddle, who takes a few defenders with him and takes play into the 25. So things, I spoke too soon there, things were looking good for Keighley, but they've lost possession in the tackle. So immediately it's given back to us because the comedy of errors continues with Nottingham knocking on. And a man lay prone on the floor, flat on his back. The Nottingham physio in attendance, you can't miss him in his jacket.
I think while there's a stop in play, I think we should talk about the merits of flat caps. The merits of flat caps. Doc Mahada gave me his flat cap at half time, and I must say that my head's considerably warmer. It must be 10 degrees warm with a flat cap on.
Absolutely. Well, they say you lose a lot of heat out of your head, but it depends how big your head is, doesn't it, Mike? I don't lose much out of mine.
You tend to lose most of yours out your mouth, Ian, actually.
We shall see. You were at York on Friday, weren't you? I lost a fair bit then. So we restart play with a scrum to Keighley, and it's this planned move again down the blind side where Gascoigne picks up. Nothing come of it this time, unfortunately, but they are in possession of the Locum laners. But it's an interception there by number 14. He's striding away over the 25. Donnelly in pursuit with James. A great chase back by Donnelly and James. Wonderful interception there by Nottingham. But here come Nottingham now. Oh, they've lost the ball. Fortunately for Keighley, they'll now come to scrum. So the Nottingham crowd at last something to shout about there. The long pass out from Greg Keighley, intercepted by Nottingham player, number 14, which was down on here as John Quinn, but that's not him. And I think it was Loy Machi who got the interception. But good cover then back there from Donnelly, used his pace well, and James wasn't far behind. So certainly saved an awkward looking situation for Keighley there. There's one thing Keighley don't want to do is give Nottingham any sniff of hope by giving them a score. Because sides like Nottingham who rely very much on the spirit within the side rather than ability, only need a bit of a sniff to up their work rate and tempo, and something that Keighley can't do. They've given a penalty away here, right in front of the post by Greg Keighley, playing the ball to himself when he had a marker there. The referee quite right in that decision. You cannot play the ball to yourself when you've got a marker. And although they're only 12 points behind, they should be going for goal. Coach Mel Wibbley getting his instructions on. David Oates wasn't for going for goal, actually. He was ready to kick for touch, but when you're only 12 points behind, you're only 2 scores away, so if you can chip at the lead with goal kicks, it's a sensible play. So it's David Oates setting himself up, round the corner kicker, left-footed, and plants it between the posts. So Nottingham on the score sheet. The penalty goal to Oates, so that makes the score at Nottingham 2, Keighley 12. You're going to have to up it a little bit, Keighley, and not allow this Nottingham side back in. It's Dixon to kick off. He's kicked deep and found Arnold Hemer, who runs the ball up to the 25. And left winger Todder takes on the movement with a run in field. There's Quinn. Well met by Reagan and Priestley. Wilson switches the ball back blind. Finds Oates. Again, Priestley in at the tackle with Reagan and Hiley this time. Got to tighten up of Keighley now. Not allow this Nottingham team any room. Make sure when they do have the ball, they look after it. And don't give bad field position away. Here comes Butterfield. Bounces out of a couple of tackles, but not really broke through the line. And the double marker system for Nottingham works well in that instance, because they've swamped around Tony James. No progress got. Sean Wilson, the ex-Keighley player, having a dig in there at the tackle. He's given a penalty away. Chance for Keighley to bring the ball into the Nottingham half. Matt Fairbank takes it first one. The play actually moves into the Nottingham half now, and Moses stepping inside, but on his own. No runners there for Moses. A run-round move with Reagan, picks up Ray Priestley, looks to pass the ball out, which he does. Nobody there, so it's gone to ground and has to be picked up by Rose. And ploughs on a few yards. I'm surprised Keighley haven't used the chip kick a little bit more against this on this narrow pitch. Gascoigne there puts a high one up and is well fielded by Sutton. Nowhere to go there for Arnold Hemer. It's held in midfield position. And here comes a break by Bennett. Steps inside, looks for support, finds it on his shoulder, gives the ball out. It's good backing up there by Nottingham. It's the last tackle. And the ball hoisted up high. It's a real high one. Well taken there by Dixon. Good take by Dixon. And the referee has pulled the Nottingham players for offside when he was fielding it. Said they weren't within the 10 metres, so it's a penalty to Keighley. And really the game dead at the moment, Mike. Nothing happening on either side.
You're right there, Ian. It's been one of those sort of games. It's never there's no real atmosphere at this ground, and consequently the players must feel the lack of atmosphere. It's sort of a dead game. We're here to get the points. We're getting the points, and but this is a likely looking break, but a high tackle, looked like a high tackle, but the referee says play on. Keith, Jeff Butterfield.
There's no width for anyone, is there?
Interception, but a double interception, but as Ian rightly says, there's no width for Keighley or for Nottingham in that fact to spread play and create any openings. It's got to be by either sheer power or good sleight of hands. Reagan takes the ball to the 10-yard line directly in front of the post. The ball coming out. And the ball is sort of... And the referee says passing off the ground, so it's a comedy of errors at the moment. Matt Reagan says, look, nobody was near me. but the referee points out that his elbows were on the floor, so he was technically grounded. Keighley bring the wild ball back and give Greg Keighley a rest, obviously conscious of next week's cup game, making sure that we give everybody a run, everybody a bit of a rest. But this game is not won yet, with the score at 12 points to 2, and Keighley need to show a bit more fire. Mark Reagan is on the floor. Doctor, this looks a serious injury. Yeah, it looks as if Mark Reagan here looks seriously injured. It's either, it looks like a dislocation, his elbow or his arm. Dr. Mahadi's straight out there. Oh, it's a real shame, is this, because yes, it looks like a dislocated shoulder. Well, quickly put back in by the doctor, but that's a blow. Poor old Mark Reagan just doesn't have any luck at all when it comes to injuries. Having quite a good game this afternoon after a long layoff with an ankle injury, but unfortunately now he looks to be struggling and could be out for a week or two. And that was a close caught thing there.
You'll have to watch yourselves here.
Nottingham look as if they chipped through. If he'd have taken that, could have been very, very dangerous. So Ian Mahadi returns from putting the shoulder of Matt Reagan back into position. And Keith with the ball. Greg Keighley had literally half a minute off the field. Didn't even have a chance to get changed and put some warm clothing on. So the ball stuck, and here comes Andy Gascoigne, a dart through the middle, a good run by Andy Gascoigne. Mark Fairbairn backing up. This is more like it. Yeah, Keith Dixon, yeah. Out to Jason Donnelly. So this is more like it. Well done, Jason. Well done. So that was a 60-yard move by Keith. This is more like it. Let's get this ball moved out quickly across.
Wider.
Oh, forward pass there. Looked like a forward pass to me, but it looks as if we got away with it. But that's 6 tackle handover. And I'll just pass you back for some more stimulating commentary from Ian Fairhurst.
Thank you. It's as good as Radio 3 Test Match Special, this, isn't it, Mark? Eh? Yeah, cream cakes. We have sausage sandwiches and things like that, right? Oh. We have Nottingham in possession on the halfway line with Quinn and Wilson spinning the ball left, and Arnold Hemer, the willing runner for Nottingham. They certainly picked up the work rate of Nottingham in this second half. They looked a bit sharper. And a ball turned inside, gains a few yards. And the club doctor, Ian Mahadi, informs us that Mark Reagan's had a dislocated shoulder, which has been put back in. And they're receiving treatment from the physio down on the bench there. So Mark Reagan suffering from that shoulder injury. It's only his 3rd game back, I think, from injury. He's been a bit unlucky over the last 18 months or so as Mark with injuries. And we're halfway through this or over halfway. There's about 15 minutes of the game left. We had about 24 minutes here of this second half, and it's 12-2 in Keighley's favour. Keighley making the odd break here and there, but not really finishing it off. And Nottingham still in this game. They're only 10 points behind. And there goes Farrell kicking the ball long downfield. He turns the fullback Sutton. Wants to run back and retrieve it, but runs the ball strongly out. But he's only met by the barn door, Palele, who bounces him down with the help of Farrell. And Keighley are caught offside. No, they're not. There's a penalty given to Keighley. I don't quite know what for. Holding back at the play of the ball. The referee, Mr. Holgate, has indicated that Tommy Sutton, the fullback, as he played the ball there, held the marker away, so impeded him from coming back into play from the marker position. So gives Keighley the opportunity to set an attack up here into the Nottingham 25, and it's highly prop forward. Obviously taking over Reagan's role as the acting half for this situation, who feeds big Ray Priestley, who goes on a plunging run towards the posts, and Gascoigne now takes over acting half and feeds Hiley, who finds Palele, a far runner, but he's lost the ball just as he was bursting through there. Aaron Palele loses the ball, and it looks as if he's hurt himself in the process. Physio is called for. He's not moved yet. There's the big fella, and the watch is stopped. So again, another example of field position set up and a chance created and just not able to finish it off. That killer instinct. Although that was rather unlucky, I don't think we can put that down to people being careless with hands or things like that. Unlucky situation as Palele ran through and had the ball taken out of his grasp. Biggest noise of the afternoon in the stands here comes from a kid running up and down on the seats. It just gets a real rollicking from someone. So back to the game. Palele appears worse for wear. And it's Nottingham who come away from the scrum. Fullback feeds the winger Todder, who dances inside James, but he's managed to grab hold of him. And Keighley are caught offside, and it's a penalty to Nottingham. I reckon about 12 minutes of this game remaining. 10 points in it. Nottingham 2, Keighley 12. And it's Wilson who takes the tap. And number 8, Carl Ports, who played his rugby, ex of Carlisle, goes on a gallop. The winger comes inside. It's the play further infield for Nottingham. Oh, get a good tackle there by Palele. Hit his fellow Kiwi full on man and ball, and he lost the ball. And therefore Keighley have the job of bringing it away from their own try line. That's not the place for scrum halves to be bringing the ball away. And the referee is indicating that Oates, although underneath in that tackle, was actually holding Paul Moses down, and pulling him down by the shirt, and therefore not allowing him to get up and play the ball. So the resultant penalty has given Keighley a bit of breathing space to bring the ball away, which they do with Rose.
He's been our man of the match today, is Rosie.
My co-commentator Mike Smith thinks Kevin Rose contender for the man of the match. On this evidence, I'd probably give it to Gascoigne. But Keighley in possession with Butterfield, goes on a gallop. reaches about 5 metres from the halfway line, and another penalty for Keighley. They're getting a little bit, losing the cool a little bit, the Nottingham team now. They're giving a few silly penalties away, which is all to the good for Keighley. It relieves the pressure and a chance for the Keighley team to gain a better field position in which to launch a springboard for their attacks. So Keighley again organising from this tap position. Number 8, Greg Keighley. And same ploy before feeds Priestley, who carelessly loses the ball there. Just didn't seem to know as if he ran as if he wanted the ball at all. It's just bounces away from him and possession squandered. Nottingham coming back through. Machi finds Bennett. Struggling to get up, could be a penalty. No, the referee says play on. There's Arnold Hemer bringing the ball up. Well met by Fairbanks. So here come Nottingham. There's 10 minutes to go of this game and Nottingham on the attack. They've been given a penalty. And this game's far from over yet. Number 8 twisting and turning in the tackle. They're about 2 metres away from the Keighley line now. They're going to have to be alert here. This is the danger area and danger time for Keighley, and they need all the concentration and wits about them as Nottingham try and break this defence down. And they do it by spinning a wide ball which finds Todder, who's lost the ball in the tackle, and game of five-a-side football ensured there, kicking it to each other. It goes into touch. We'll have a scrum. Head and ball to Keighley. Still lead by these 2 tries to Farrell and Pelele and 2 goals to Dixon, which gives them 12 points, as opposed to the penalty goal to David Oates, which is the solitary score for Nottingham. That's the 12-2 scoreline that we have here at the moment. And the referee has penalised Nottingham once again. Feet up in the scrum. Wilson the hooker. So really another chance for Keighley to bring the ball away from the danger area. Let's hope they look after the ball in better fashion than they did last time. And it's Tony James deciding to come in field for a run. And he makes a good 10 metres before he's brought down. That's the first tackle. Here comes the second one with Rose. And he has upped his work rate as Kevin Rose this afternoon, Mark. I do agree with you in that. He's performed much better than of late. Gascoigne looking to find somebody, picks up Pelele. Here's a gap for Pelele. Looks to go through, finds Gascoigne. Gascoigne's going for the line. He's going to go over, and it's a good try for Keighley. Simple rugby. Gap there made by Gascoigne initially, fed Pelele, and good support play again by the skipper, who finished off the move there about 15 metres in from the touchline. Well-deserved try for Andy Gascoigne, I feel. He's been my man of the match this afternoon. And hopefully that just gives the cushion that Keighley need. Should have put this game well out of the reach of Nottingham, with the kick to come from Dixon. So a well-deserved try there for Andy Gascoigne.
Super try by Andy Gascoigne. He started it and finished it. That man, the wild boar, carried the ball on. So that makes it 16-0. My co-pilot's in the box to say my nose running. I'm not at all surprised. I'm numb from head to foot.
But not your head, Mike.
Not my head. Super kick.
Oh, Melton, well done.
Yeah, lovely kick by Keith Dixon. So that makes it 18 points to 2. So let's just finish with another try and goal.
You make it 5.
Look, approximately 5 minutes to go. It's been sort of a non-game this afternoon. It's had very few highs and quite a lot of lows. So it's Nottingham to kick off. So ball bounces out, so it's a drop out for Keighley under the post. I think all that can be said today is that we've managed to get 2 points in our quest for the top 8, but that our performance really has not given the indication that we are top 8 material. But it must be very difficult playing on this very narrow pitch. And certainly defensively we've looked head and shoulders better than Nottingham. And here comes Nottingham plucking away, looking for an opening. And Keighley tackling as solid as ever. And the wingers met by a welcoming committee of Ray Priestley and TJ. And Ray Priestley comes up with the ball. Jeff Butterfield. Kevin Rose, another good run. Eddie Palele there. A kick through by Keith Dixon. A chip ahead. Gathered by Jeff Butterfield. Broken play now. Mark Fairbank.
Bring it.
Oh, superb! Yeah, superb try.
Fairbank. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, lovely run there by Mark Fairbank. Inside pass to TJ, who goes under the post. Giving an air of respectability now to the score, because this surely will be Keighley 24, Nottingham 2. I hand you back to my co-commentator here.
Yes, good try there from Tony James, but excellent break from Mark Fairbank. Strong running, carried the movement on. Tony James dithered a little bit before he came inside and managed to pick up the floating pass and galloped away under the sticks, which should give Keith Dixon an easy conversion. So Dixon here in an attempt to kick his 4th goal this afternoon. Steadies himself. Over it goes, up go the flags, and 6 points onto the scoreboard to make their score Nottingham 2, Keighley 24. So that appears to be game, set and match. And we've just got the final few minutes and injury time to play out here. Keighley, in the long run, if you are running out comfortable winners, but and you pick your papers up tomorrow and see 20-odd points to 2, you'll think it was comfortable, but they've not really stretched the lead until these last 5 minutes, and up to that point it was what I termed as rather an uninspired performance, really. But the opposition haven't scored a try as of yet, and we've scored 24, and we've definitely got 2 points in the bag. So it's nice to win, even though we don't feel that we've played all that well. Like, the ball moved out wide now with Palele. They're looking for another try at Keighley in these dying moments. Oh, dearie me, that's offside. Yeah, ball knocked on by Priestley. That's twice he's done that this afternoon. Misunderstanding there with the half-backs. Ray's not played a lot of rugby recently, and probably his timing and understanding just lacking a little bit at the moment. That can only come with match practice, of course. And there goes the final hooter to give the score at the end here of Nottingham 2, Keighley 24.